Good morning. What's up? What's up? What's up? We've got a lot of business that's been done down here inside of this prior zone. Bouncing right off and respecting the midpoint. We're now inside of our area of interest, our first one. As it stands, this is way too gorgeous to not take it off. I probably should have hit something at the open, or at least leading up to it, rather. Yo, morning, Dennis. How you doing, buddy? So with the expectation that we blast through here, we might have a little bit of a pullback, but I think our 15-minute time frame will blast through this area of interest. I would have really liked to see like a bounce from here back down and then run it, but it looks like at least for right now, we're just running. We're just running. Ideally, we're trading up to here. I think there's a very, very high probability, not just because of this, but there's a nest of zones up in here that I've got. So we'll see if we get anything at all, or if we just continue to rocket ship. But she's on a mission. From a higher time frame perspective as well, you've got your daily high. That's tantalizing. From Friday at 88s. Right? So, like, pretty much everything, all roads lead to Rome. We just got to find a way to somehow get involved. I think if we sort of consolidate here, we're looking for some sort of a liquidity sweep. Otherwise, this might just say, forget your pullback. I'm just going for it. First 5-minute candle coming in, 15 seconds. There's your first 5. And a little bit of a pullback. Okay. See what happens at this midpoint here. Not getting the reaction I think anybody wants out of the midpoint so far. So we'll see what ends up happening here. If we still respect the low of this, then I think we fly. Otherwise, you might get a bit of a pullback. You've got your 9 a.m. low all the way down there, which we haven't touched yet. People will be trying to hit this long for the movement to the daily high, and that's fair. If we're going to have a higher time frame movement, this is going to be it. You want a little bit more than this from the London high as well. And looking for this to expand above the 5-minute high at the very least. You've got Asia highs and then beyond. Again, all roads lead to Rome. The question is, do we pull back more, or is this enough? I'm looking at the failure on this 2-minute to make a valid low despite multiple attempts. So I'm currently sitting long, and I'm looking for this 15-minute area of interest to expand at least above the high, and then if we fail and come back in, then we're looking at lower. There it is. And expand or no? Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Where do we come back now? Not ideal. Still sus. Right? This is the area we want respected. But that's only after we get like a closure up here. So if like we closed up here, then we trade back in, then we're looking for there for a long. This long that I did take was a little bit sus. At minimum, if it respected that 2-minute low, we're going to run the highs, and we did. And ended up giving back a few points rather than taking it off at the highs I was expecting, or I am expecting higher. It's just telling us it's not ready yet. Right, so we very well could get a movement from here. Dennis, you're calling 825. We're looking like this. My guess is we will bounce off of the low of this zone at 29. We failed the high of it. Maybe failed the low of it. I'm concerned about this 9 a.m. low. I think we'll take that after we run higher, personally. But we'll see. There's the low of our 15-minute zone. Oh, excuse me. Be pretty shocked. You got your impulse low. So if we hold this, we won't take that. If we don't hold this, I think we go for this 930 low where all the liquidity is. Just because if we're failing here, we're either going to fail here or we're going to come back in a little bit deeper in our area of interest. So we'll see what goes on with that. I do like this consolidation though right before the morning. There's your 25s. Okay, I'm long now. We'll see if we get our lift. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Gotta clear 40s. Got to clear 40s. Whoop. I'm going to take one off here at the midpoint and let the rest go. I'm break even at 28. So, major area of interest, sent us lower, fine. But tap down into the consolidation, respected the midpoint of this imbalance. Inside of our area of interest. I wanted to see it hold here. Bullish, cool, sure, flip, but of course, 26. Of course you are. Nice entry, buddy. Nice entry. Typical zones. Respect one side. Gotta break through the other, otherwise we go at least to here. But given the context of looking at all this generated liquidity, the violent movement, we're looking either this is going to trade back down into here, and then we get our run, and then you're looking at liquidity or whatever. I did think there was a decent chance of us taking the 930 low on this consolidation as well, but that just couldn't even close. Couldn't even close. So we'll see. We'll see if we get our lift. Morning, Demetrius. Let's go, let's go, let's go. There's the other end of the zone. Disrespecting the midpoints, you expect at least to there. But given context, we're looking up into here, lads. We're looking up into here, lads. There's your first 15-minute candle. Well, what's the chances that gets taken? How's the shower hair? My goodness. Give this guy the hook. Give this guy the hook. Hey, Russ, what's going on, buddy? How's you guys' weekend? Still holding this, respecting where? Respecting where? Surprise, surprise. Prepping for my exam. Ooh. Dare I ask? It'll go right over my head anyways, I think. Nasty business if this rejects the top of the zone again. Right? You would expect after it holds the midpoint to at least retest it and break it. But we're having a lot of difficulty in these 50s. CFA level 1. All right. Do you want me to quiz you? It's probably a little bit different in the US than Canada anyway. There goes your highs. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Oh. Lift, 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 lift. Where are you guys trading? Where are you guys trading with these days? There's 60s. To the moon, baby. What do we got? What do we got? I took mine off. My stop went underneath this candle, so I'm still looking. What did we have? We had, yeah, what do we have? Like 920s? No, we had 880. 880 for sure. $880, and we just created a new one on the 5. Yeah, so literally right. Yeah, right here. So lower end of this zone, I would say, is where you're going to encounter major sell pressure. Would be a little bit surprised if we went to the top of it, but trade of 8, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, your hourly, right? Like you have your top, bottom, and then knifes through. Goodbye. Right? And then you market structure enthusiasts will go, this isn't a zone. Right? I mean, if you drop down, it's a pretty good zone here. Not this, you expect that to get liquidated. You expect the first taps of it to provide some sort of bouncing. But you expect this to get liquidated. And then as soon as you knife back through it, especially what you're seeing here on the 15, right? Now you're looking at 880 to 900. At least. But I would expect some major resistance in here, which will probably send you back down. This might be like your push to 10 a.m. and then you get something like this. If it consolidates in here, you're in trouble for shorts. Very dads, good morning. Hopefully is that how you pronounce that? Very dads? Hopefully everybody had a good weekend. You guys are at least looking at this long, right? area of interest, failure. But even then, if you're like, you know what, I don't trade from areas of interest like that, cool. You know, there's a million and one ways of hitting this market. You're looking at a 15-minute high, which is not a credible high. You expect a 15-minute high to get taken. Right, so you got that, cool. And then sure enough, we open, respect the midpoint. But let's say you don't even have that zone out. You're looking at this, you're looking at that, right? And then sideways, right? People will panic, cover their sells here, or cover their short positions there. Right? So happy to sit in this. Happy to sit in this. I do think that they do something crazy. So I'm happy. Like I already took some off. I think that like if you think there's such things as free trades, that's nonsense. Right? But let's say I don't know. Forget whereabouts my position is. Let's say that wherever you are, your stop's here, and we're trading there. And I think that this is a valid area of interest. You could argue that it should be here, but in reality, we're actually sweeping the top of this too. So there's a strong chance if we continue to sweep the top of this, where are we going? We're going to the bottom of it. For the same reason that if you sweep the top of this range here, you're going to the bottom of it. And if you fail this, you're going to the other side. Over and over and over and over and over again. Right? Now, based off of the time frame of this movement, I don't really expect anything other than spike, sideways, and you're seeing that here. So let's go back to mathematics. If you're long and it's trading at 74 and your stop's at 40, essentially what are you doing? You're risking, let's say you're in from here. Right? And this is so you're risking how many points? Right? You're actually risking 35 points right now. Right? From where it is to your stop. In other words, if you closed out your position right now, could you safely look at re-entering to where your target is? Here's 880. Now this is a little bit climactic. I do think we got a little bit higher, and you got 88 for that daily high. So we'll see. We'll get rid of this. You got a new 5-minute candle opening as well. My stop's underneath this low. Oh, and it looks like it's going to get taken out as well. A little bit greedy for those extra points, I think. There it goes. All right. All right. We'll see if it continues on, but whatever. Anybody grab anything long, or are we just sitting watching, waiting? If that sweeps and fails, I'm going to be a little bit upset at myself. I exited at 78. Let's go. Let's go. Right, you've hit your area of interest now. 78's a hell of an exit. All right. Why'd you pick 78 out of curiosity? Man, you left $100 on the table. Yeah. $100. Jesus. But what about the daily high? I think that's fair, right? Like, I do think we will take this, but the idea was bang, bang, and then lift. Who could have predicted this? Pretty sure everybody, especially after this spike, was looking long in the market. Right? You got your daily high, that's your draw. It's currently, maybe it's building an SNDR to run it and getting all these shorts involved. Maybe it's not, who knows? Definitely a little bit greedy. Is there a gap? Is there a gap? There's a bit of a gap, isn't it? Can I justify being a dick for a tick? Can I justify being a dick for a tick? You're about to see some shorts get blasted, I think. They didn't come back down into our area either. So I don't really see the opportunity of getting back in. I think that we will run back up into this and it just... We got paper hands, people like me out first. Boom, boom. Replaying this, I think that I'm happy with my long idea and entry. I think given the context, I was probably a little bit early in taking my first and de-risking. I probably should have at least monitored this. Because the idea, if I'm going to go long here, I'm not expecting it to trade back into this. That's your first warning sign, yes, but if we're going to fail here, then I'm expecting this, and that should be my first. Yeah, I think that would have been better. I think that would have been better. And I'm nitpicking 10, 20 points or whatever, but anyway. Anyway. Chop City, not what you want to see if you're looking to short, risking off the daily high. So anybody shorting, I mean, I do think that this will be a terminus spot, personally. I think that the cluster of everything that I've got in here is pretty huge. I love this spike movement, right? Like if you're looking at this, this does not look like it wants to slow down. And I think that's fair. Hey Dilly, what's going on, buddy? So just got everybody out, myself included, being a little bit too cute, but parabolic. Should have expected a range right underneath the daily, but anyway. Green is good. That take it? I don't know if I did it? No. Double top? Double top on the daily? That's so nasty. Run it. You could argue that I probably could have hopped back in here, and I think that's fair. I'm just not. I'm not looking for 10 points anymore, lads. And I suppose that's 20. I suppose that's a 20-point move, but I'm looking to catch major stuff, right? Where are we going to? Boom, mitigate, right? Is this manipulation? No. How do you know it's not manipulation? Because we couldn't CSD or anything, right? These are light pullbacks, especially these. And we just kept going, and then you lift. So the freedom model is based off of this movement above here being manipulation and then running the other side. Or vice versa. No bueno. Right? But any system at all is predicated upon whereabouts are we going to first. Because you could justify getting in anywhere. Wherever the hell you want, really. Right? Oh, well, we just failed Asia highs. And we just created a valid high. Right? Shouldn't I be looking short here, at least for this? Like, we got a huge order block there to trade back into. You can justify anything. Because everything has a probability of success. But that's not how you become consistently profitable. You become consistently profitable by, okay, whereabouts should we trade to? From a higher time frame perspective. And your lower time frame becomes your entry, not your, well, it's failing here on the lower time frame, so therefore we're going down here. Right? If you're gonna ride a move, do you want to be riding this movement up, or do you want to be taking like this wick down? Right? Like, where are we trading to first? 888. What are the chances that equal highs get left on the daily? Not very high. Not very high. That's your new hour as well. They are the best. We did want Terminus in here in the 90s. So I'm not surprised that there's a ton of selling into here, but not shorting and can't log from up here, so whew, sorry. So we'll see. Everybody green? Should I open the floor up to some questions on how we were able to catch the bangers? Let's see where this goes. $88 again? But. Ah, happy Monday workday. And I mean, if you look at this as well, like, if you're able to zoom out past your screen and you're not like this, like looking at these 3 candles, but you're actually looking at the chart, what are we looking at, right? It's not just screen time, it's focused screen time on the right pieces of information. So then the next question is, what are the right pieces of information? And the answer to that is the ones that help you make decisions. Anything else is just noise. It's got to, if you're doing some sort of analysis, you have to actually look at the pieces of information that will lead to action. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. So we spike up. Does this look different than this? Yeah, this is accumulation. You take the high and you have a violent movement down. So you would expect even on this closure or before that, that we're trading lower to something. Otherwise, we wouldn't have failed here, right? So you look at this. Is this a high that you want to be risking off of? You've got a strong movement for the last 10 minutes. So people see this candle and they're like, there's a buying opportunity, right? Because you're looking at this high and you're looking at how this market is moving in general. Same thing with this, buying opportunity. Double top now, okay. You don't necessarily know when you're buying here that it's going to double top. My concern is that this area, the beginning of this zone, is high sell pressure. I do think we take these highs at 88. In fact, I would be shocked if we didn't. The question isn't if we're going to take them or not. The question is when and are we going to trade back down into here first? Right? So we're sweeping. That high was 56. That closed at 57s. Okay, so you got this one, and then by extension, probably that one. That's a little bit tricky, but I would say 50, 65, 50, 65, 25. This is actually, this candle here is our last structural bullish one, meaning that this is actually not even a valid pullback. So my guess is that as this isn't a market structure shift, if we're going to double top, trade back down to here, then assuming we respect this area of interest, shaboom, shaboom, and away you go. And if we blast through here, which would probably be this area here, if I'm honest, then you're looking like way. If. I just don't like how this didn't trade lower. And I think that would clap a whole bunch of people that are looking for this short for lower prices. But we'll see. This was inside of our zone. It did line up. So there's a lot that I like about this, right? And it'll be nasty if those equal highs end up with that, but I do think there'll be a decent trade to come out of here depending on how this trades into it. But hopefully you guys, yeah, for sure. I would probably be in on a short if this didn't double top. Right? You've got equal highs on your daily time frame. Those will get ran. Whether it's the afternoon or not, who knows? Right? You might get like a 10:30 reversal in here or something. Who knows? Where did that zone come from? Which zone? All right, so hopefully we get a consolidation candle in here, which gives you a reason to go above. Where did that zone come from? That's a projection. That's a projection. Excuse me. You want this candle to be bullish. If it's not, I'm on the wrong time frame. Ugh. Minute 50. Come on, lads. Oh, man. My guess is that we return back up into here and then this drops. And then this drops. Would be my expectation. Probably something like this. Probably something like this. Yeah. That lines up for me. I'd probably be looking longs at 840s. And then you're going to end up with a bullish candle here. Ooh, we got it. Good. Let's see what happens here. Be right back. Ooh. Ooh. Good morning, good morning. If this doesn't, this is just blasting through. You want at least the midpoint of this respected in about 25 seconds. Otherwise, you're in trouble for shorts. personally, this is kind of where danger comes in as well. I do think that the short has validity, right? This is obviously a little bit hairy with how it's trading back up, but theoretically, I'd much rather want the long from here and miss the short than essentially have the market decide it wants to run it just from here and then blast. If that makes sense. I do think that we had this off the one, right? So like we're still inside of this area of interest that was the SMDR that ran us higher, right? So it's technically not out of the woods or not wrong yet in terms of your short, right? I think a closure outside of this, you're in trouble. But people are probably risking this high at 79s. Didn't quite hit that. Obviously, I'm not involved short yet. Probably. I mean, if this like has like a sweep and then it comes through or whatever, like I think that it's again still a valid idea. It went up a little bit higher than we expected. In fairness, I was kind of looking just at the midpoint of this SNDR. Right, but the idea remains that I think longs will be better suited to come out of here, assuming that this actually just drops. If it fails the other end of this SMDR, then we're running the highs. Morning, Donna. What's your entry criteria these days, brother? I look for respect of the midpoint of zones, and I look for reactions from areas of interest, and that's a little bit vague, but I usually will attack the midpoints of areas that I expect to hold. Right, so this came down into here. People might even look at the midpoint of this, which I think was Dennis's idea, the midpoint of that, and away you go. But the key with it isn't necessarily the area of interest. The entry comes after, right? I expect this high to go, so now I'm looking for reasons to get long. People will see like, oh, there's a fair value gap. Other people will be looking short here because there was a flip, right? Both are valid if you're only looking at entry criteria. But if you're looking at whereabouts price should go, which is the daily high, still the daily high, that determines the lens of how you're seeing this. Whether it's on the 2, whether it's on the 5, right? This looks beautiful now in hindsight on the 5, but like, why, right? How do you replicate that? How do you replicate that this is going to fail down here? You replicate it by, we expect to trade here and we expect price to follow suit. If this trades here, and you get a, like, do you expect that this is going to close like underneath here and then just go on a rocket ship? Maybe. You got to play the probabilities. From where it was a measured move from this area here, Pix. We drew it from here to run up to this. I think ICT ends up having like half the picture. Like if you draw like this, for example, like, well, you know, my projections, they're right so far. I mean, you know, mental gymnastics after the fact. Did we just take it? I think we just blasted it. We did. There we go. Now we might sell off. I'll stream for another 8 minutes or so. I think people, hopefully you guys grabbed longs and you weren't trying to fight this short with this. I did think that short did have validity. and it at least gave an opportunity to mitigate. But yeah, I would have been much rather to get a long into here instead. Much rather it. Daily gold, Matt. Happy days. Didn't take any of this movement. I was away for this move anyway. But anyway. And now we see 890 hit. Daily high hit. Now what? We'll probably expect it to trade back down into here. Maybe not that deep, maybe like this. And then if this area gets respected, then we continue up for, whereabouts are we gonna go to? Whereabouts are we gonna go to? 910s? Tens, maybe even beyond if it knifes through that. We'll see. By the way, if it doesn't respect this area, I think that you've got a major issue because you got 5 minutes left on this candle. You're inside of your terminus spot, and we haven't traded back down into here yet. So I think there's a strong possibility that if we're going to fail, this will run lower. So you'll see. I think 75 to 78 is going to be key for sure. Chop, 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 chop. Again, wait for price to tell its hand as well if you're looking short. Now you've finally taken a higher time frame objective. You should all have an entry criteria for sure, whether that's a flip, whether that's a major sweep and fail on an intermediate time frame, so like a 15-minute sweep, say we consolidate for another 3 minutes and then we liquidate this high and then violently move. Well, you can hit that, cool. Maybe it's an IFVG, whatever. But just bear in mind, you are shorting against the higher time frame. So if you're right, you should have a higher time frame second distribution move. And by that logic, you don't need to catch the first. You just need to be right. You need to be right for about 20 points per day and your life changes. That's it. That's it. What is VIXY at? 15.9? Ooh. Shorts continue getting barbecued. Shorts continuing to get barbecued. We'll see what this next 15-minute candle open does, and then we'll probably run away for the day. Just in the event we get a spike, and then we just go sideways for the next 5 hours until tomorrow AM. I don't know about you guys, but I'm finding that the morning action, riding a high probability morning trade, or 2 or 3, is far better than sticking around for afternoon nonsense. Even though FOMC last week and everything kind of moved quite nicely, but like Thursday, spike sideways, right? Wednesday, yeah, FOMC, fair enough. Tuesday, spike sideways. Monday, spike sideways, right? So hopefully we get something a little bit different. I took a couple in this. I took the first one to the high, and then ended up giving some back as it came back down. I wanted this, and I got that. And then I rode 28s, and I took one off at the midpoint here, and then I had the other one stopped out there. So was quite happy running that, but the size portion of it was good. I was able to size in because I had low risk. This was either going to stop here and have a very, very tight stop, as in, let's say hypothetically that I'm in at like, again, at 28. This low ends up being 21. Cool, that's about 7 points as I take it. Because either this respects and my trade's good, or we take this low, and then in which case we run this one, and then we probably trade back down to this, whether we attack the 9 a.m. low or not. I don't want to be part of this, so my trade theory has to have a tight stop, otherwise it's invalid. And those are good trades to take, because if you're taking, say, like a zone trade, let's say hypothetically that you went long here, well, can your stop be this low? I mean, I suppose it could, but in theory, you've got accumulation. It very well could manipulate that low, and your trade's still valid and then goes higher. Whereas I'm expecting this to be the manipulation, and it's similar there, where say this candle drove lower and took it out, and you're taking this trade here. It's the same idea. Your stop is there now, and if your trade's right, this is your hard stop. You don't want to give it like the wiggle room to trade into this or not, because you're expecting this to be terminus, the manipulation. Same sort of idea. So again, what does that mean? It means that if you're taking that trade, you can size in. Versus if you're taking, say, a long, I don't know, here, right? Spike down. You don't know if it's going to manipulate or how this is going to deliver yet. So you need like a 20-point stop. All right, here's your new 15. Still nothing swept. Still nothing swept. But probably trades back down onto this now. Would be my guess. That's a beautiful extension. Beautiful respect of it so far. If it creates a valid high. I mean, I think that it should at least attempt for a valid high. I don't like how the 15 didn't move, so I would expect a little bit higher. But again, 5-minute SNDR took the daily high. Figure out what goes on. Okay, lads. Yeah. I'm gonna run away for the day. Yeah. What can be said? Daily targets done. Next day model done. Pretty much everything done. Narrative-wise, I think, you know, spike sideways, spike sideways. We actually don't have anything structural in the 5-minute at all. If she wants to finalize its move, you've got this 9 a.m. low. If she leaves it for tomorrow, we've got a very, very beautiful draw. Right? Similar to, what was that day? What was that day? Was that the Monday? Was that last Monday? Yeah. I mean, that ended up hitting on FOMC. So you're waiting a little while. You're waiting a little while. But these 9 a.m.s, when we get going, I mean, it just blasts through that. So it didn't even respect it on either way anyway. But we'll see. Okay, let's...